Here again today.
Smaller is better, and the V6 is going to win it today.
From Bryar Motorsport Park in Loudon, New Hampshire, it's the Skoal Bandits 120. Brought to you by Skoal Bandits, an individual portion of tobacco in a neat pre-moistened pouch. For tobacco pleasure without lighting up, it's the little pouch of tobacco pleasure. And by Mobil 1 Synthetic Motor Oil. Mobil 1 protects your engine better than any conventional motor oil.
And greetings from the granite state of New Hampshire. I'm Ken Squire at Bryar Motorsport Park in Loudon. For 63 years, this track has been the home of one of America's great racing classics, a motorcycle classic. Today, something totally different. NASCAR late model stock cars are here participating on this 1.6-mile track in 3 25-lap races, 2 of which have just been completed. The Skoal Bandits 120 now down to the showdown between some of the top drivers from the eastern area of Canada and the northeastern United States. Working with me is one of the leading journalists on the NASCAR North Tour, Dave Moody. This is a unique event.
Well, it is indeed, Ken. It combines aspects from 2 very diverse forms of motorsports. The first, the Saturday night short track stock car racers, the grits and gravy, fender in your door set. And the second set, who just until a couple of years ago were the realm of Ferrari and British Leyland, were the road course racers. This event today gives us the best of both worlds.
And it has a unique scoring format as well, which we'll tell you about in just a moment. Right now, let's go to the pits where the activity is truly fervent. And there is a man who cut his racing teeth on this NASCAR Northern Tour. The son of the former Daytona 500-mile winner, Marvin Panch, Richie Panch on pit road.
In most races, 20 seconds in the pits can mean winning or losing. But in this unique race, the drivers and crews have anywhere from 20 to 40 minutes to repair their cars. Behind me, the last-minute preparations are going on to prepare for the start of this final segment.
The scoring for this Skoal Bandits 120 is truly unique. 3 segments, and in each race you score points. Race number 1 lined up by time trials. Then they reverse the field for race number 2. They get 1 point for a win, 2 points for second, 3 points for third, and so on in each race. For this third and final 25-lap race, the finishing order from the second race is reversed. And that means the winner now starts out back, and he'll be fighting his way through the field. We'll review the highlights of the first 2 25-lap races in this unique Skoal Bandits 120 from Loudon, New Hampshire, after these messages.
Introducing something new and rather amazing. A super high-octane gasoline with twice the detergent it had before to give you a plus. A detergent strong enough to actually clean dirty fuel injectors to give your car power and performance it didn't have before. New Mobile Super Unleaded, high-octane with a plus.
When it rains around here, it doesn't rain cats and dogs. It rains broken down cars. Sometimes they won't start. Sometimes they short out going through a puddle. The problem? Bad spark plug wires. That's why I put in these new Autolite power seals. The insulation's thicker than ordinary wires, so it seals in the power. And there's a guarantee for as long as you own your car. So why not put in new Autolite power seals? Autolite power seals. They seal in the power.
You know, there are more and more places today where you can't smoke. Like here on the job. But when I want tobacco pleasure, I still make out like a bandit. With these, Skoal Bandits. Skoal Bandits is tobacco in a neat little pouch. You don't chew it. You just put one between your cheek and gum and enjoy the refreshing taste wherever you are. My choice is wintergreen. The mint goes over big, too. But when you can't smoke, you can still make out like a bandit with Skoal Bandits, the little pouch of tobacco pleasure.
You've probably heard that Coors isn't pasteurized. Well, it's true. It's also true that Coors is the only major brewer who won't pasteurize any of their beer. The reason? It's taste. See, when you pasteurize something, you heat it. And heating hurts the taste of beer. So Coors purifies without heat. That helps make Coors a little less heavy, Never bitter, but with all the spirit of a great beer. So when you want a beer, it's just plain better. Coors is the one.
The field is readying for the third and final 25-lap segment of the Skoal Bandits 120 here at Loudon, New Hampshire. Pitting Connecticut's Randy LaJoie, Florida's Robbie Crouch, Chuck BOWN of Portland, Oregon, Canada's Claude Leclerc, and 30 other top NASCAR North Coors Tour stars. Let's take a look right now at the highlights from race number 1 of this Skoal Bandits 120 at Loudon, New Hampshire. The 32-car field lined up by time trials for this first segment. Randy LaJoie at 85 miles per hour. A new record was on the pole in number 07. Defending champion Chuck BOWN, number 7, in his 85 Pontiac second. The second row was Canadian Claude Leclerc, number 11, and the 85 Buick of Kevin LePage, number 09. The Dragon brothers were in row 3, and in row 4 was Stub Fadden of North Haverhill, New Hampshire, and the 6-cylinder 85 Buick of Robbie Crouch. Here are the highlights. On the start, 31-year-old Chuck BOWN, number 7, rode the outside and took the lead around number 07 pole sitter Randy LaJoie. Kevin LePage moved into third place, and the red number 11, Canadian Claude Leclerc, took fourth. Up the 1.6-mile road course they traveled. Coming to the crest of the hill, headed for a 100-mile-per-hour high-speed toboggan ride, Chuck BOWN was repeating his overall winning performance of 1984. IndyCar veteran and former National Road Racing champion Bill Alsop in his Chevrolet Monte Carlo was in trouble early. Defending NASCAR North Tour champion Robbie Crouch in his 6-cylinder car, number 48. That blue machine is seen passing Harmon Beaver Dragon in the V8 Pontiac for 6th position here. While LaJoie, number 07, closed on the leader, Chuck BOWN, number 7. Robbie Crouch was having his hands a little too full at turn number 2. His spin sent Crouch all the way back to 28th position. BOWN, LaJoie, and brother Bob Dragon, number 71, had stabilized the front 3 positions. But out back, it was a different story as Crouch proceeded to pass everything in his sights. The two-time and defending Coors Tour champion passed 5 competitors in half a lap as he charged back through the field. In 10 laps, he had moved back into 7th position, passing 21 cars in that 10-lap period. Here he is moving in on the Chevrolet celebrity of Steve Poulin. Canada's maritime champion Frank Frazier and his 85 Olds were out early. Up in front, Oregon's BOWN was still fencing with Connecticut's LaJoie in second, the Dragon brothers third and fourth. Here, LaJoie slipping his Pontiac beneath BOWN at turn 7, and he takes the lead, coming into the main straightaway. Bob Dragon speeds by for second place, and his brother Harmon Beaver Dragon claiming third as they go into turn number 1. BOWN was in trouble, and a lap later in the pits. He'd cut a tire down, and as he came back on the track here, he was in 24th position with 7 laps remaining in the first 25-lap segment. The next victim was third-place runner Harmon Beaver Dragon's Pontiac. Up in front, LaJoie continued to lead, but the blue and white number 48 was the story. Here passing number 11, Claude Leclerc for third. And then in the fastest part of the course, he moved up on number 71, Bob Dragon, overwhelming him at over 100 miles per hour downhill to take second place. BOWN continued his assault through the field. Before it was over, he had come all the way back to 9th position. 07 LaJoie was to win the first 25-lap segment for 1 point. In second, Robbie Crouch, number 48, for 2 points. Car number 11, Claude Leclerc, came across in third for 3 points. Bob Dragon was fourth. After the race, Richie Panch talked with the winner, number 07, Randy LaJoie.
First segment race winner, Randy LaJoie. How does it feel to be number 1 after the first segment, Randy?
Well, it's a big plus. We have 3 segments, and you got 1 point if you win a race, so it gives us a little boost. We have 1 point. We set fast time, and Chuck had his on the get-go, and I could stay with him, and he had a little tough luck, so it helped us out a little bit.
So at the end of the first segment, Randy LaJoie was the man of the hour. Among all the battle flags flying at Loudon, New Hampshire, No flag was flying higher than that of number 07, 23-year-old Randy LaJoy of Norwalk, Connecticut. After these messages, we'll return with highlights from the second 25-lap segment.
There's been an important change in STP to better protect your engine. It's a new and improved formula. Now, here in your oilways, STP fights to keep dirt and sludge from building up. This is a new STP, giving you extra protection from wear. Get new improved STP oil treatment.
STP is the racer's edge. Who's gonna be at the Silver Bullet tonight? Sipping on a cold Coors Light, partying right. Hello there. Who's sure to make the scene on a Coors Light Halloween? Come on down to the Silver Bullet, see who greets you with the Silver Bullet.
Who was that?
I don't know, but he left this Silver Bullet. There's no slowing down with the Silver Bullet tonight.
Coors Light beer.
In their quest for a slice of the American dream, some people work hard and long, as if putting in extra time at the office could guarantee success at the office. Well, all it guarantees is a cold dinner. Now, the Wall Street Journal certainly isn't opposed to working overtime. They just want to be sure you make it count. So the Journal brings you all this news, all this concise business information, all these useful ideas, just so you can do your job more effectively and more efficiently. Subscribe to the Journal, and working late won't be any more fun, but it might be more rewarding.
Call 800-527-9800 for this new Journal offer. 13 weeks for just $28 with a money-back guarantee. 13 weeks, $28. Phone 800-527-9800 now for the Wall Street Journal.
Back at Loudon, New Hampshire, NASCAR officials are minutes away from calling the field, the line for the third and final 25-lap segment, the decision maker in this Skoal Bandits 120. 3 segments, 75 laps, 120 miles the total distance. For the moment, let's go back and review the second 25-lap segment, which was highlighted by just some remarkable racing. The winner of segment 1, Randy LaJoy, had to start 30th position as they reversed the field, and starting in 29th position was Robbie Crouch's Pontiac 6000, the 6-cylinder, which had finished second. The front rows in segment 2 were early retirees and slower cars from that first race. Brent Hatch in a Chevrolet Monte Carlo was on the point. Carlton Roby in a Pontiac second. Row 2 was Andre Baudouin from Quebec, and Beaver Dragon, who had dropped out in his Pontiac, was fourth. The thoughts about this unique format from the leader after round 1, Randy LaJoy.
It's going to be very interesting after the first and second leg here, because after they invert this field, and you're going to see some good racing today, especially from coming from the back. And as far as passing, well, I think any corner you can get ahead of the guy is going to be tough. So it's going to be fun.
At the outset, the 1985 Pontiac, number 91 of Beaver Dragon, passed Baudouin outside, BB inside, and moved into the pole sitter, Brent Hatch. Dragon, 44 years old, a 23-year racing veteran, is twice NASCAR North Coors Tour champion. But this is only his 3rd time on a road course. The man who holds the record for the most wins in a single season, 9 back in 1979, looked mighty strong here in the early going. Dragon moved gingerly around the first and second turn, then let horsepower tell the story. Canadian Longes Caron, who likes to race so much he drives this car for free, had been having trouble all weekend and brought out a caution with continuing motor trouble, as he told Richie Page.
You've been smoking out there for the last 2 days, and you smoked real bad this race. What is the problem with the car?
I don't know. I think it's got to be in the motor. We've done everything we can. You know, they said yesterday we talked with people with more experience. They said that we had the tank that were not vented at the time, and it probably caused the problem.
On the restart, number 7, BOWN had moved from 22nd to pass Tom Glazier, number 12, right there, and to move in on the leaders. He was now in 5th position. And behind him, the competition was even more intense. Robbie Crouch in the number 48 and the 07, Randy LaJoy, were also moving from 29th and 30th rapidly through the field. As number 7, Chuck BOWN, took 3rd and closed on the leaders. Canadian Andre Baudouin, number 31, and Paul Masuri of Long Island brought out still another caution. Miraculously, they escaped this mayhem with little damage. After these messages, we'll return with highlights from the second 25-lap segment.
Stock market crash in history rocked the nation yesterday as stock prices collapsed.
On October 24th, 1929, the news that shocked the world didn't surprise everyone. 2 months earlier, Business Week readers were warned about stock prices that seemed unsteady. Business Week was then only a few weeks old. Today, the look of the magazine has changed, but not its significance. It was Business Week that told its readers about the takeover epidemic in the steel industry. And before the computer war broke out, Business Week readers not only knew it was coming, but who would come out on top. Week after week after week, Business Week tells you exactly what's going on in business and how it could affect your business. It's all right here, in the most concise, accessible form possible. But this publication does more than report the news. Business Week interprets, even anticipates, and that's important. Because in business, nobody likes to be taken by surprise.
Business Week magazine revealed this.
Business has never looked better in Business Week. And if you subscribe right now, you can take advantage of a very attractive offer. 32 issues for the low basic rate of only $24.95. That's just 78 cents an issue. A savings of more than 60% off the $2 cover price. And along with your paid subscription, Business Week will send you one more valuable business tool, the Business Week Solar Calculator, free. This desktop calculator is powered by any light source. There are no batteries required, nothing to plug in. And remember, it's free with your paid subscription to Business Week. Here's how to subscribe.
To get Business Week and the Solar Calculator, call 1-800-453-1212. 32 issues are only $24.95. This low basic rate saves you more than $39 off the cover price. The calculator is free with your paid subscription. That number again is 1-800-453-1212. Call now.
On the restart, lap 11, Beaver Dragon first, 91, then number 3 Hatch. Number 7, Chuck BOWN, moves in to battle for second place. He challenges Hatch here, pulls up on the outside. A horsepower test, and for the moment, Hatch has it. But as they come to the first horseshoe, it's BOWN throwing the dummy, cutting to the inside, and getting beneath Hatch to take over in second place. Number 11, Claude Leclerc, is right there. And there's an even stronger battle going on back in 6th position. 07 LaJoy closes up on 09 Kevin LePage, and they run the second horseshoe side by side for 5th. But that isn't the end of it. Here's number 11 closing, going for 3rd place, and making the spot over the crest of the hill. That's the Canadian Claude Leclerc in his 85 Buick. Number 7 closing in on number 91 for the lead as they came down the hill at over 100 miles per hour. Claude Leclerc here in 3rd. Followed by number 09, Kevin LePage. And watch the Norseman Buick with this move as he cuts inside. And young Kevin LePage from Ogunquit, Maine, knocks a man down to take over in 3rd. At the same time, up in front, New England's Dragon leads the Pride of the Northwest, Portland, Oregon's Chuck BOWN, by just this much as they come around the first horseshoe. Back they go to over 90 miles per hour. It's Pontiac first, Buick in second as they come to the second horseshoe. BOWN closes on the inside, and Chuck BOWN goes out into first place here in the second segment. BOWN received his road racing diploma at Riverside, California, when he ran with the Winston West Series of NASCAR. Here he is in the second horseshoe, leading Dragon and beginning to pull away. 09, Kevin LePage in third, in fourth, Claude Leclerc. And rampaging out of the back, still busting through traffic, 07, LaJoie overwhelms Brent Hatch in number 3. Here's the leader, BOWN first, Kevin LePage second, and Dragon now falling to third. Something may be amiss with Dragon's car. A battle developing here for fourth place. On the inside, 07, LaJoie knocks on the door of that big Buick and pulls through to take still another spot. Meanwhile, in front, 09, LePage closed on the leader but was not able to get by. For the moment, number 7, BOWN, had a bit of a breather on this 8-turn, 1.6-mile track at Loudon, New Hampshire. Down to turn 6, it was Dragon, next to fall prey to number 07, LaJoie, now up into third position. BOWN was first, 09, LePage in second, 07, LaJoie third, Robbie Crouch in fourth. It was building for a tremendous finish. And let's go to our live call with Dave Moody of the final laps in this second segment of the Skoal Bandits 120.
Robbie Crouch and the little V6 cars come all the way from the tail end of the field, as has Randy LaJoie. And they both now are right up at the front of the pack and challenging not only for the lead in this second segment, but also for the overall.
LePage on the inside and 07 on the outside. There's number 7 up in front, and right behind it's side by side. LaJoie and LePage still side by side down over the hill. There's the battle. It's for second place. It is LaJoie on the inside. LePage staying with him all the way. And on the high side, Kevin LePage comes fighting his way back into second spot. Wheel to wheel they come. 07, and it's going to be LePage back in front. Now 07 takes the inside at turn 7, and they're still wheel to wheel.
LaJoie gets the advantage on the left-hand corners, LePage on the right-handers. They've run almost a full lap, door handle to door handle. Now LaJoie gets the jump down the front straightaway. He moves in a second.
But he's sideways. He slides. He's sideways. And 09 and 48 go through. Incredible racing.
Robbie Crouch now has moved past Randy LaJoie and into third, and that would put them in a dead heat tie in the overall point standings if the race were to end right now.
Car number 7 stays in front, and there you see the next 4. LaJoie all the way back to fourth. He's got to fight his way back up, this time to take on number 48 Crouch and number 09 LePage.
We'll have 2 laps to go the next time by. Only 2 to go on your leader, Chuck BOWN. But the battle right now is between Robbie Crouch in car number 48 and Randy LaJoie in the 07.
Battle is for second place. There it is. Down the hill they go. It is still number 7 up in front. '09 has taken the second position. Number 7 stays on the money in the front running spot. Here they come into the main straightaway. And Crouch is going to make a move on 09. 48 going after 09 now at turn 1.
The V6 cars supposedly are at a disadvantage on horsepower down the straightaways, but Robbie Crouch is staying right with Kevin LePage, not only through the corners, but also on the long haul uphill.
Crouch going after LePage at turn 3. Look at this battle going on. 09, 48, and 07 really into it. This time runs out. This time by. It'll be a white flag and 1 lap to go. Meanwhile, the leader continues to be the Bandit, number 7, Chuck BOWN. There's the second place man, number 09. Kevin LePage in the fight of his racing career, trying to hold off 2 top runners. Number 48, Robbie Crouch, right there in third, and Randy LaJoie in fourth.
As your second, third, and fourth place cars got involved with swapping the positions on the restart, BOWN got out to about a 10-car length advantage, but Kevin LePage in the 09 has gathered him up, and he's back within 2 car lengths of the lead once again with 1 lap to go.
Coming down, this time to the line, white flag, 1 lap remaining, final lap, and LePage comes after the Skoal Bandit from Portland, Oregon, Chuck BOWN. Dives low into turn number 1. BOWN is there, throws the block. Back they come to over 100 miles an hour. They settle in to turn number 3. Through that little dog leg in number 2. BOWN again trying to defend his territory with a good inside move. And on the outside, number 48, Crouch, tries to move in again on 09. But LePage fends him off.
Back in the 5th spot, we've got a change of position as Claude Leclerc trying to hold off Bobby Dragon in car number 71.
Crouch in 3rd. There you see them to the top of the hill, cresting now, and now diving down at over 100 miles an hour, around turn 5, and then into the fastest portion of the course at over 120 miles an hour. The Skoal Bandit, Chuck BOWN, in front. Checkered flag this time. And 09 is going to go for it. Kevin LePage sizes his man up, looks at the hole on the inside. Turn 7, one more turn after this. Around they come, this giant horseshoe. Now they'll crank them to the right. Here comes LePage trying to make his move. LePage goes to the inside on BOWN. LaJoy goes to the outside on Crouch. 2 by 2, they come across the line. BOWN will win it. LePage in 2nd, Robbie Crouch 3rd, Randy LaJoy 4th. That's how they finished round 2 and set the stage for the upcoming 3rd and final round. When it was over, Richie Panch had a word with the winner.
Chuck, after a flat tire, a leaky transmission, and a 10th place finish, you came back to win the 2nd segment.
Yeah, that's true. The Skoal Bandit ran good in the 2nd segment, but we still got 10 points the way I count. I thought we were 9th last race. I mean 10th, but it turned out we were only 9th, and now with a 1, we've got 10. But there's a couple of guys I think that still only have a total of 5 points, so it's still going to take a little bit of luck.
One of those guys with 5 points was 4th place finisher Randy LaJoy.
Randy, you won the 1st one. The 2nd one looked awful tough out there.
Yeah, it was. Chuck come back, and the 09 come back. Robbie come back, and I made a mistake. I had 2nd place. I come in the corner a little too deep and got the thing sideways, and both the guys got by me again. But then I didn't have enough laps to get them back again. But the car's running real well, and we're dead tired going into the last segment here, and I just hope traffic breaks early and I can get out and go.
Indeed, they are tied, Randy LaJoy and Robbie Crouch, after 2 segments, and here's how. Robbie Crouch had a 2nd in the 1st race, and in the one just completed a 3rd, give him 5 points. And Randy LaJoy, of course, winning the 1st round, 4th in the 2nd round for 5 points. Back in 3rd place with 8 points is Claude Leclerc, based on a 5th and a 3rd, and there is a tie for 4th with 10 points between Chuck BOWN and Bobby Dragon. We'll be back with the finale after these words.
You know, there are more and more places today where you can't smoke, like here at the game. But when I want tobacco pleasure, I still make out like a bandit with these Skoal Bandits. Skoal Bandits is tobacco in a neat little pouch. You don't chew it. Just put one between your cheek and gum and enjoy the refreshing taste wherever you are. I like the wintergreen. My buddy goes for mint. So when you can't smoke, you can still make out like a bandit with Skoal Bandits. The little pouch of tobacco pleasure.
This is the reason there's only one Coors brewery in the world. When this snow melts, it'll flow through miles of porous rock and sand. This natural filtration helps create a clarity, a purity that's so remarkable, Coors doesn't have to do a thing to their water. Rocky Mountain spring water helps give Coors a difference worth tasting. When you want a beer that's a little less heavy, never bitter, but with all the spirit of a great beer, Coors is the one.
In an hour or 2, these streets will be teeming with people, all going after the same thing, the American dream of success. But while there are millions of men and women chasing the American dream, there's only so much of it to go around, which is why you should subscribe to the Wall Street Journal. Each business day, the Journal gives you a real competitive advantage with comprehensive news coverage, analysis, ideas you can put to excellent use in your work, and business information you won't find anywhere else. Of course, you don't have to subscribe to the Journal, but in a very short time, these streets will be filled with people who do.
Call 800-527-9800 for this new Journal offer. 13 weeks for just $28 with a money-back guarantee. 13 weeks, $28. Phone 800-527-9800 now for the Wall Street Journal.
At Bryar Motorsports Park in Loudon, New Hampshire, with Dave Moody and Richie Panch, I'm Ken Squire for the second running of the Skoal Bandits 120. And the stage is now set for the third and final 25-lap segment of this race. As we prepare to present the starting lineup, remember the unique format of this race. The starting order for this third and final 25-lap segment is the reverse of how they finished in the second segment, which means that those top drivers must prove themselves on a road course in traffic once again, and the slower cars start up front. In row one, from Stouffville, Ontario, in a Buick Regal is Peter Gibbons, and beside him comes Paul Masuri from Freeport, Long Island, in his Pontiac. In row two is St. Constant, Quebec's Norman Gervais in a 1985 Buick, and Blair Bissett from Vermont in a Pontiac. Going to row three, it's number 70, J.P. LaRose in a Buick Regal, and the Chevrolet Celebrity six-cylinder of Steve Poulin. In row four, it's Gardner Levitt, number 1X from Maine, and Randy McDonald of Oshawa, Ontario, Canada in a Buick. Row five is Bill Alsop from Woodstock, Vermont, and Yvonne Bedard in car number 9 from Quebec City. Row number 6 is the 1985 Buick Regal of Tom Glazier, and from Center Conway, New Hampshire, in a Chevrolet Monte Carlo, Dale Shaw, number 47. In row 7, it's Brent Hatch, car number 3, a Chevy Monte Carlo, and number 33, Joey Karafis, one of the top drivers on the Coors Tour. For row 8, it's Jamie Obie, number 41, an Oldsmobile Cutlass, and beside him, Stub Fadden, a 25-year veteran from New Hampshire in a Buick Regal number 16. In row 9, it's Bobby Dragon in the Rossi Buick number 71, and beside him comes Claude Leclerc in his Buick number 11. Going to row 10, Randy LaJoie's on the inside in the 07, and outside is 48 Robbie Crouch, tied for the overall lead in the Skoal Bandits 120. Going to row 11, Kevin LePage, number 09, the Norseman Buick, and beside him comes Chuck Bound, car number 7, the Skoal Bandit. Going to the 12th row, it's car number 44 on the inside, Keith Cavanaugh from Quebec, and Ronnie Marvin of New Hampshire, number 13 on the outside. Row 13, two Pontiacs, Carlton Roby, number 15, and number 17, Longes Caron. Then in row 14, number 03, the Pontiac of Milt Wright from Hardwick, Vermont, and Roger Camerata. And out back, number 6, Alan Strobridge. Some of the teams have elected to run in the rear by request for one reason or another, and some of the leading teams have been knocked out. Men like Frank Frazier, Harmon Beaver Dragon, Hector Leclerc's big regulars on the Coors Tour are all back in the garage area, out of the event as we come to round 3. The field is given the command to fire the engines, and as they prepare for action, let's take a look at what these drivers will be facing in this final 25-lap segment. Chuck Bound gave us a ride in car number 7, the Skoal Bandit, to show us the 1.6-mile, 8-turn course here at Loudon.
Now here we come to turn 1. We're going about 100 miles an hour here. We're braking very hard. We slow it down to about 50 for this 90-degree left-hand corner. Drop the left side tires right down to the bottom. Accelerate hard here. Drift it right out to the pit wall. Almost rubbed that son of a gun as we're headed down the short chute here, working our way to turn number 2. Now right here we're on the gas, off the gas now, on the brake, turning left. This is turn 3, the sharpest and the toughest right-hander at Loudon. It's a corner that can make you or break you. I like it. I've had a lot of success here, but the whole key is getting up this hill here, coming off that corner. Turn number 3 is where all the action will be today. A lot of passing, a lot of wrecks. Heading for turn number 4. Here we're on the brake hard, downshift to 3rd gear. Keep it wide as we can, then bring it right down to the bottom of the corner in the apex. Start accelerating as quick as we can up that hill, slide across the racetrack. We're up to about 90 miles an hour here, dropping it into 4th gear, totally blind as we head over this knoll with a little bit of a dog leg and down the hill into the fastest corner on the racetrack, turn number 5. About here, we're getting up to about 120 miles an hour. Now here we're on the brake just as hard as we can, and we want to drop out an anchor. Toss the car to the left. We don't have to shift because it's a fast corner. We're back on the throttle real hard here as we head toward turn 6, which is a dog leg to the right hand. You work the car over to the left, and you throw it over to the right. Drop the right side wheels just off the pavement. Try to straighten it up as much as you can. You don't have to downshift. Now we're headed into turn number 7. This is a slick one right here. You see the shine on the pavement? It's really slick. You aim the left front wheel for that rock there, right there. Just try to just miss it. Come off that corner. Now you get set up for the last corner. Turn number 8. A right-hander. Again, you put the right-hand tires right off the racetrack in the dirt there, and you're wide open here on the home stretch, headed for the checkered flag.
And we're back and ready for the final segment of the Skoal Bandits 120. Field beginning to pick up a little speed as they move around to start this, the final segment. 25 laps to decide it all. Top cars and drivers move down off this NASCAR Northern Tour from the Eastern Dominion of Canada and the Northeastern United States. Field in line. There you see Joey Karafis, number 33. Obi in the 41, his 85 Oldsmobile, and here they come. Down for a start. Coming for green. On the break, Paul Missouri on the outside, number 01 from Freeport, Long Island, takes a shot at number 92, Peter Gibbons. But the Stouffville, Ontario youngster stays in front and draws to a 4-car length advantage. Here's 48 Crouch around number 1X, Gardner Levitt in that beautiful Chevrolet out of Maine. As Crouch continues to slice through the field and go for the win. Up in front, it remains ASA runner and Coors Tour campaigner Peter Gibbons.
Field makes their way through turn number 2, now up the hill and toward turn 3. Peter Gibbons in car number 92 shows the way by 4 car lengths.
Robbie Crouch into 6, 10 car lengths back from the 5th place man. Randy McDonald, the 20-year-old youngster from Oshawa, Ontario, Canada, is making a move to take the lead from his best friend, Peter Gibbons. They came onto this tour together. McDonald qualified 10th. Here he is on the outside at turn 7, going for the lead. Randy McDonald trying for first place. Gibbons fends him off. Back they come for the main straightaway to complete another lap. Here they are, down to the line. McDonald plunges to the inside as they head for turn 1. Gibbons stays there. On the outside, making his move. Missouri gets in a little deep. Missouri drives to the inside on McDonald. Paul Missouri, the Long Island driver, alongside. You can see where he got hit earlier today. 92 Gibbons leading the way into turn number 3. There's the crunch, and it is a crunch, and 7. Chuck BOWN getting caught on the back end of one of those cars, had to fall back considerably.
And the big winner in that tangle, Robbie Crouch in car number 48, who's gone all the way to the 3rd spot. He's trying to reel in Randy McDonald. Boy, what a lot of ground he made up there in that crush in turn 3.
So now it is car number 92, Gibbons in front, Missouri running in 2nd, downhill, up to 120 miles per hour around turn number 5. And closing comes the 6-cylinder Buick of Robbie Crouch.
Peter Gibbons in the 92, Randy McDonald in the 86. McDonald again will try on the outside of turn 7. Here comes Randy McDonald way up high. Crouch will go underneath for 2nd spot.
Crouch trying to make his move here. They come back to finish another lap as they come to the line. Here is Crouch trying to get down to the inside of turn number 1. Not accomplishing that. McDonald taking the high line, pulls up on Peter Gibbons. 3 cars running for the lead. It is Crouch looking for running room. Robbie Crouch pulling up. McDonald and Crouch running side by side. Gibbons in the lead.
Here comes McDonald. Whoa,
McDonald going and taking his man right to the outside. Big change of positions there.
Well, so much for friendship, Ken, as McDonald got the hole on the inside and darn near put Peter Gibbons right off into the pucker brush.
Lead car in that tremendous change of positions becomes BOWN. He slid right through as 4 cars got tangled up. Chuck BOWN found the hole on the inside, and now it's BOWN out in front.
Robbie Crouch runs in the 2nd spot. Kevin LePage has made his way to 3rd. Stubfadden now 4th, and Gibbons all the way back to 5th spot.
Now 48 Crouch being challenged by the 09. The 09 moves in another time. Can't get through. Tight running through turn number 7. Coming around to complete 9 laps. Number 7, BOWN in front, but the story is in 2nd place. 48 Crouch is there, 09 in 3rd. Randy LaJoie is working on Gibbons. Chuck BOWN trying to extend his lead. A contest for 5th. Peter Gibbons, number 92, being challenged by the Snellman Pontiac 07. Gibbons sideways. Here comes 07. That's Randy LaJoie, the Connecticut youngster, pulling by and taking 5th position uphill. Chuck BOWN in 1st. 2nd place car is now 48 Crouch, followed by 09 Kevin LePage. And Stubfadden, a New Hampshire driver here on this New Hampshire track, finds himself in 4th position.
Well, Ken, Chuck BOWN is on his way here. He's out in front here after winning the last segment. And you have to ask yourself, what would Chuck BOWN's fate be if that transmission hadn't gone awry in segment number 1?
Chuck BOWN out of Portland, Oregon, former Western United States champion, son-in-law of Herschel McGriff, his own brother racing well in the Winston West Series, his dad a longtime racer and car builder. In front, Skoal Bandit number 7, 48. Crouch in that 6-cylinder Buick, maintaining that second spot. And there you see 09, Kevin LePage maintaining third. 10 laps now completed among those leaders. Fadden uses up some brake, trying to hammer it through. Battle for second place is BOWN. Drives away up in front. Crouch looking for Chuck BOWN and closing up on him now. Back to the crest of the hill, diving down at over 100 miles per hour. Crouch moves in again. A V8 in front, number 7. And a V6, number 48, maintaining that second running position and holding on to the leader.
Randy LaJoie has made his way into the 5th spot, about 7 or 8 car lengths behind car number 16 at Stubb Fadden. But LaJoie not having a lot of luck in reeling in the leaders. He's still quite a ways behind Robbie Crouch and Chuck BOWN.
Coming out of turn number 8 and down to the line.
Kevin LePage,
11 laps.
Kevin LePage is in trouble in car number 09. He's just coming out of turn number 8, and the car was smoking badly through turn 7. LePage just creeping along now.
Here's your battle. It's for first place. Crouch inching up again on Chuck BOWN. Third place car overall is now number 16, Stanley Stubb Fadden, a 25-year racing veteran from the state of New Hampshire. Here it is, the man they call the Tampa Tornado, number 48, Robbie Crouch, Tampa, Florida, and Chuck BOWN of Portland, Oregon, screaming around turn 4, the 1.6 mile Loudon 8-turn stock car racing course. The Skoal Bandits 120 down to its final moments. BOWN trying to draw away. Trying to close is that V6 automobile in second place. It is a Buick now running in third, number 16. So as they line up, Pontiac is in first, Buick runs 2 and 3. We'll be back with the finale after these words.
You know, there are more and more places today where you can't smoke. Like here on the job. But when I want tobacco pleasure, I still make out like a bandit. With these, Skoal Bandits. Skoal Bandits is tobacco in a neat little pouch. You don't chew it. You just put one between your cheek and gum and enjoy the refreshing taste wherever you are. My choice is wintergreen. The mint goes over big, too. So when you can't smoke, you can still make out like a bandit with Skoal Bandits. The little pouch of tobacco pleasure.
There's been an important change in STP to better protect your engine. It's a new and improved formula. Now, here in your oil ways, STP fights to keep dirt and sludge from building up. This is a new STP, giving you extra protection from wear. Get new improved STP oil treatment.
STP is the racer's edge.
This week on USA's Crime Busters, the chase unit zooms in on thieves who use movie scripts to plot their robberies.
So the blueprint for the job must come from the first script.
Then an unsuspecting Christy Love spends some time with a killer. So hit the streets with USA's Crime Busters at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 Pacific, tomorrow.
Is the junior lightweight division ready for this Roberto Duran lookalike? Keith Stevenson looks to make his mark as a world contender when he takes on the pride of Cajun country, ranked 13th by the USBA, Louisiana's Shelton LeBlanc. This week on USA's Friday Night Boxing.
On the next Saturday Nightmares, a deranged couple and their daughters bring some nasty surprises on innocent people in Once Upon a Frightmare. And Diana Hyland's love becomes a lethal obsession on the Alfred Hitchcock Hour. It all starts at 8 p.m. Eastern on USA Saturday.
The slugfest continues as Stubb Fadden tries to hold off at the halfway point, this time by Randy LaJoie. There is Randy LaJoie in the 07, the Snellman Industries car, closing up on the Buick of Fadden. You can see where Fadden's car has been hit in the nose. Bumper badly abused on car number 16. LaJoy throws it in hard as he runs side by side down the main straightaway. And pulling up a spot, Randy LaJoy goes into third. Now clear sailing as he goes after those two leaders.
Robbie Crouch and Randy LaJoy came into this segment dead tied, so if it should end right now, Robbie Crouch would win it by 1 single point. But Randy LaJoy not content to let it stand like that. He's on the run.
And they're running these cars so hard, these cars that are really adapted to oval racing, trying a road race once a year here at famous Bryar Motorsport Park. 07 stays with it. Randy LaJoy is now into the third position overall. There you see the leader, Chuck BOWN, lapping a back marker. Norman Gervais falling back now, one of the Canadian drivers. Here comes Crouch. Crouch trying to get some room, but since they changed the transmission on number 7, he has flown faster than anyone else around this 8-turn course. 07 goes looking for 48. As the battle flags flutter around the pit area, the number 7 flag is now standing highest. Chuck BOWN, who won this race 1 year ago, trying to do it another time. Driving flawlessly, a man who had a lot of experience out at Riverside, California, when he drove in the Winston West Series, continues to dominate this event in the eastern United States. Loudon, New Hampshire, the site of Bryar Motorsports Park. Building up a bit of an advantage now, as you can see, over number 48 in second place. And there's the third place car, and closing ground is LaJoy. There's BOWN in number 7. Chuck BOWN, 8 victories on the NASCAR Northern Tour, the Coors Tour. He's out in front. Already collected over $129,000 in purse. Here he is, still working out in front. Continuing to close up comes the 07. And for just a moment, the 07's in trouble, and Fadden closes up and is going back by him. They're side by side another time for third place. 16 and 07 continuing their own vendetta for third place. Stub Fadden running side by side with 07, Randy LaJoy.
That pass was almost like the kiss of death for any hopes that Randy LaJoy might have had for taking this overall title. LaJoy had to get around Robbie Crouch in order to win this thing, but now not only does he have to pass Crouch, he's got to get by Fadden first.
There is Robbie Crouch in second place, settling down, trying to take it all. As BOWN stays first, Crouch lies second. LaJoy knows that he must go by number 16 Fadden still another time. He lost it at that hard right-hander, turn number 3. Keith Cavanaugh going down the lap at number 44. Crouch, a 6-cylinder that qualified only 8th the first segment in time trials. There you see 07 LaJoy trying to get a better line through this very vicious third turn, a right-hander, which has thrown all these stock car people so used to left-hand turns. But Fadden is drawing away. Stub Fadden, the single New Hampshire driver to really won well in this series, showing that Buick's colors and leading LaJoy now by 4 car lengths. Back in front, Crouch is closed up on number 7 BOWN.
Chuck BOWN out there just looked like he was cruising away as little as 5 laps ago, but now Robbie Crouch looks like he might have been saving a little something for the end. The little 6-banger is beginning to pull closer.
Indeed he is. He's cut it down to about 6 car lengths. Here they are, out of turn number 8. BOWN in first. Crouch right there in second spot. Side by side for third, going into the turn. There goes 07 trying to sneak the inside, but it is number 16 cutting him off. Stub Fadden staying third. Randy LaJoie lies fourth.
Well, there's the experience of the veteran. Stub Fadden took the fast line through the corner, made Randy LaJoie take the hard way, and ended up hanging on to the third position.
Tire smoking, LaJoie in trouble. Threw it away right there. You could see him have to take a second set in that vicious right-hand turn, and now he's going to start over. Third place man, and LaJoie is now falling back. Chuck BOWN with 8 victories on this tour. Had 4 of them in 1982. Now trying to improve on a season that has just 1 win to date. Crouch trying to take it away in this last segment and really wrap it up. There you see Gibbons being lapped.
I think Chuck BOWN may be falling off the pace just a bit, because not only has Robbie Crouch closed right up onto his rear deck, but Stub Fadden as well has begun to close the margin just a little bit.
Back they come in the main straightaway. Number 7 staying first, 48. Rim riding around a lap car. It is Robbie Crouch again closing up.
Chuck BOWN and the Skoal Bandits, the V8-powered Pontiac Grand Prix, prepared by Clint Bover of Littleton, New Hampshire. Right behind him, Robbie Crouch in the V6 car number 48. And a challenge for third again as Randy LaJoie puts the 07 past Stub Fadden. Once again, the third and fourth positions flip-flop as LaJoie goes back through, and he'll take a run at Robbie Crouch now.
But Crouch is trying to take a run at the leader. BOWN maintaining that slim lead, and here comes the 48 after him.
If Randy LaJoie can find a way around Robbie Crouch, that'll decide it. Those 2 drivers came in tied for the lead in this final segment. LaJoie has to get by Robbie Crouch.
You saw Randy LaJoie running third just behind the 48. Here they are back at turn 7 on this big sweeping turn. Car number 7, BOWN, stays up in front with a white flag out. 1 lap remaining. Final time around. And something happened to 07. LaJoie, he got way wide, and underneath him went Fadden, the 16 and the 71 of Bobby Dragon.
LaJoie pushing so hard through turn 8, trying to catch Robbie Crouch, but he got way out of line, and Fadden and Dragon were underneath like a shot.
And now car number 33, Karafis, goes after 07 at turn 3. LaJoie in trouble, and on the inside and the outside, they're getting by him. All going to pieces now for Randy LaJoie after a great run up to the final segment. The leader stays BOWN. Final lap. Checkers ready to fall. BOWN can win the 3rd segment, but it will give the overall championship on the basis of the 3 25-lap segments to number 48, the Tampa Tornado, Robbie Crouch, on a tremendous roll this year. Crouch in 1985 already has 5 victories to his credit. This will make number 6. Down they come through turn number 7. Final time, checkered flag about to be unfurled. At the line, BOWN in the first position for the segment. But the overall winner is this man, number 48, across the line. It is Robbie Crouch winning the Skoal Bandits 120.
We'll be back to meet the winner of this unusual and extraordinarily competitive event after these messages.
Who's gonna be at the Silver Bullet tonight? Sipping on a cold Coors Light, partying right. Hello there. Who's sure to make the scene on a Coors Light Halloween? Come on down to the Silver Bullet, see who greets you with the Silver Bullet.
Who was that? I don't know, but he left this silver bullet.
There's no slowing down with the Silver Bullet tonight.
Coors Light beer.
4-cylinder engines have changed. They work harder than ever, even when they're just idling. But watch this. Even after 7,500 miles at top speed in a 4-cylinder engine, new Valvoline 4-Guard motor oil showed no significant breakdown. None. New Valvoline 4-Guard. It helps your 4-cylinder engine keep up the hard work.
Let me show you an old mechanic's trick. When you do a tune-up, make sure you don't forget the PCV valve and the gas filter. Leave the old ones in and you can get starting problems and stalling. And don't try to save a few cents on no-name brands. Put in those you've heard of, like Fram. After all, if you're going to all the trouble of a tune-up, why not use parts from a company that's gone to all the trouble to make good ones? Fram. Fram. A good name to go with.
Mobil 1 synthetic motor oil. The technology behind it gives this driver engine protection he can depend on. And this driver. And this driver. And this driver. Mobil synthetic oil technology. There's no finer engine protection on Earth or anywhere else.
The winners gathering in victory lane. Chuck BOWN, winner of the second and third segments after a dismal first segment with a tire down, finishing ninth, his total 11 points. And there's Robbie Crouch's number 48, the overall winner with a second, third, and a second place finish for a total of 7 points. You can see Chuck BOWN climbing out of his car now. Second this year, the winner last year. Let's join Richie Panch with the winner, Robbie Crouch.
Overall race winner, Robbie Crouch. Robbie, the little six-banger did it.
Oh, it did it. It was running terrific. You know, a little trouble with Randy and Chuck had a little trouble in the first segment, and that it's one of those races where if you just keep going, you stay out of trouble, I guess you end up winning it. We ran great, I can't, you know, but I think those two guys were a little bit stronger at certain times of the race. And of course, they led some of the race, so I didn't get to lead much of it, but it was a terrific show. The little car stayed together, terrific, little Buick V6, and I just couldn't be prouder of it right now.
Robbie Crouch, whose middle name today was Consistency. Now, here's Richie with Chuck BOWN.
Overall second place finisher, Chuck BOWN. Chuck, you won 2 of the battles, but you lost a war.
That's exactly right. You know, I guess I'm happy. The crew did their job. I did my job. The car ran very strong. And we really had a good day in that respect, but you can't control flat tires. And in that first segment, we got a flat, and that was enough to knock us back out of the lead, as a matter of fact, clear back to the 9th position, and so we ended up with 11 points with a 9th and 2 firsts, but I don't know, I can't really be disappointed. The crew did their job. It's just racing luck, one of those things.
Thank you, Chuck.
Thank you. And so the Victory Rostrum celebration continues with Robbie Crouch victorious in this second Skoal Bandits 120 at Loudon. Second place overall at the finish was Chuck BOWN, and finishing third was Randy LaJoie. Coming back up to finish fourth was Stub Fadden. All in all, a great day of racing.
Well, it was indeed, Ken. Robbie Crouch proved that consistency pays off in the Monza-style events. You don't have to win any of the segments to come out the big winner at the end of the day.
For Dave Moody and for Richie Panch, I'm Ken Squire with the Skoal Bandits 120 at Bryar Motorsports Park in Loudon, New Hampshire.
This has been the Skoal Bandits 120 from Bryar Motorsport Park in Loudon, New Hampshire. Brought to you by Skoal Bandits, an individual portion of tobacco in a neat pre-moistened pouch. For tobacco pleasure without lighting up, it's the little pouch of tobacco pleasure. And by new Mobil Super Unleaded, the high-octane gasoline with a plus.
Next Tuesday night at 10 Eastern, join USA Sports for the 1985 U.S. Inboard Speedboat Championships. Great racing every Tuesday night on USA. Now stay tuned for the Alfred Hitchcock Hour, next.